Good morning. Happy Saturn Science Saturday. It is June the 7th, 2025, and Saturn has officially moved into Aries energy. Thank goodness. Saturn moving to Aries energy is such a good energy of finally coming out of the delusion of people thinking what they think is just is actually justified. We're moving more into the energy of truth and justice because we know that Aries energy is the opposite of Libra energy, which is ruled by Venusian energy. And a lot of times, in order to balance the scales, there needs to be a call to order, and a power has to be chosen in order to balance the scales of what's to be justified. Let's just say you have two people going to court. You have the plaintiff and the defendant. Who makes the final decision? The judge. That is what Saturn and Aries energy is like. And in our case, collective energy, the judge is God. All right? What's happening here is that you're going to have the energy of your human self going against your spiritual self, and your steps being ordered by God is what Saturn and Aries energy represents, if we want to put it in those terms for people to understand. Today, we pulled from the numerology oracle card deck, and we pulled the number 46, and it talks about domestic harmony. And with the energy here, domestic harmony, it says this card indicates a time of healing your relationships with your home. This may relate to a troubled relationship with a child, family member, ex or current partner, house guest, or roommate. It could even relate to problems you have with the actual house itself. Either way, this card has been sent to advise you that your difficulties are being resolved and domestic happiness is within reach. Come on, somebody. Whatever issue you thought you were having with your home, whether it was decluttering, whether it was the furniture, you're being able to feng shui, you're going to be guided to do these things in your home. Whether it is you just needing to, sometimes like people have smells in their home and they're like, why does my house always smell like food? You just need to wipe down the walls. And it doesn't even have to be a deep scrub. Literally wipe your walls down and that smell will go away. Sometimes it's as simple as just opening the windows. So for whoever needs to hear this, if I feel like somebody's been like, man, I just hate this house. Maybe it's not even the house. It might just be the neighborhood. Maybe you've outgrown it. And even if you've outgrown it, you can always expand your home by minimalism, decluttering, and then you have more of expansion. Sometimes it's not the actual area, it's your mindset and what you have put into it, because you have to remember sometimes when you brought that couch, what was your mindset at that time when you brought that couch? Has your mindset changed? Is it time to get a different piece of furniture? Or is it time to reupholster it and not even have to buy a different piece of furniture? Go to the fabric store and reupholster your own couch for $50. Change your mindset. It brings a lot of harmony to your home. Like a lot of times people think, oh, I just need to move. Actually, you may not need to move. You may need to switch your mindset and open a window and you're going to be all right. Not always this drastic change that you need. But some people, it is a call for you to move into a new home or into a new neighborhood because you just don't feel safe. That energy is here as well. But you'll be guided to what you need to do. And the affirmation here is, I have happy, harmonious relationships with my happy, harmonious home. Like I said, a lot of times it's not the house. It might be you needing to make it more into your home. When I was walking over here to do the reading, I was like, because I have hardwood floors, but I have strategically placed rugs and little mats everywhere just for texture changes in my house. I was like, oh, I like that. Because some points I'm like, oh, I want all wood or I want all tile, but some points I'm like, oh, I need a texture change because I'm only going to be sitting in this area for a while, so I don't want my feet on just plain wood because that mess up your pedicure, number one. Make your feet rough, always on hardwood floors with no socks, but that's a whole nother story. But I don't like to wear socks and shoes in my house, but I'm on the tangent, and let me come back to my point. Having a texture by my tarot desk and then by my work desk and then by my school desk. Yes, there are 3 different desks in here because that's how I focus. But it's my home. That's what made it a home for me. You understand? This is not something I'm suggesting that you do. This is what makes me comfortable in my elements and in the different phases of my life and different focuses that I have. Is to separate them into different areas. You see what I'm saying? It fit for me. That's what you have to start doing in your home. No matter how much your home costs, anything like that. If you're in a neighborhood where you don't feel safe and you can't afford to move, add security. They have ring cameras. Pray over your home. When you install in those cameras, pray over your home. God, protect this home. I'm doing my part by putting up this camera. Do your part by keeping the energy away. That's how you work with it. That's when they say faith without works is dead. That's how you do your part. You put up the camera. You ask God to please use this camera. Use this camera as your light and to keep the negative energy away from my home. And I'm doing my part because you provided me the resources to buy this camera. That's what you have to do. That's how you're working with. You're doing faith with works. That's what they're talking about. A lot of people think, oh man, I got to push myself and I got to work 180 hours a week. Is it even 180 hours a week? Anyways, I have to do all this extra stuff. No, they're asking you to do the simple things. And I was thinking about this, and this might be controversial. Let me know in the comments the other day. And you know how some of us grew up in church and they say you have to give the 10% of your tithes and offering, and we give it in the church. What if that 10%, hear me out, what if that 10% of tithes and offering is supposed to go into your savings when bad things go wrong? So God is preparing you so when things go wrong so you can do your part, you have something to keep you safe until he's ready and prepared for you to make a move to keep you into the next journey of your life. Got that 10% that you put away to protect you because he guided you about that 10% of tithes. Now give me that 10%. And if you ever in a bind, remember you gave me this 10%. I'm going to let you go ahead and use this 10% so you can go ahead and get out of this situation that you possibly put yourself in, because I didn't tell you to do that anyway. But as your father, I'm going to go ahead and help you out with this 10% I told you to give me from your check. That's how I'm thinking about it. Now that I think about it, I was like, dang, if you think about it like that, because then a lot of us who are churchgoers and we go to the church because we done gave 10% of tithes and offering, but then the church say, we can't help you. Why? When I gave you 10% of tithes and offering, you should be able to assist me. And they can't. Why? But if you put that 10% into like savings or something, you will be able to be assisted when you go through a hard time. Let me know. I know that's a bit controversial, but I was really thinking about that really heavy the other day because I do when I go, I always pay my 10%. When I get paid, I pay 10%, but I put it into my savings. I don't put it into a church that's not going to be able to assist me when I need that 10%. And there's nothing, I'm not saying anything against the church or anything like that, but just think about it. Let me know in the comments. You be like, Crystal, you going too far? If I am going too far or whatever, that's my way of thinking. That's how I interpreted it. And I have every right to interpret it, but let me know how you feel about that. But just think about in that situation, because it's like when you're a parent and when your kids have their first job, and I see a lot of parents who've done this, and I'm going to do this when my son starts working or whatever. When he gets paid, well, I've been doing this actually for other things as well. But when he ever gets money, I take $10 or what, depending on what the amount is, or 10%, and I put into a savings account for him. So when he turns 18, he can have that. Or even if it's not 18, when I find him, he's about to maybe go get a house, or he's about to go hit his first apartment, he already got the down payment, or he already got his down payment for a car, or whatever have you. He'll have that because he's been putting that money, that 10%, that $10 into this account every time he gets some money. Same thing. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, you guys stay blessed, stay safe, stay protected. Again, I done kept y'all for longer than I wanted to. I be wanting to keep y'all for 5 minutes and go. But then I get guided to say something else. But just let me know. What do you think about that? How do you take that? Are you doing your 10%? Because it's a 10% tithe, not that's safety. That's safety. You're paying. Thank you for protecting and watching over me. But if I ever need your assistance, I know I got this 10%. And you'll allow me give me that 10% back. And then I can restore it when I get back on my feet. Think about it. But anyways, you guys stay blessed, stay safe, and stay protected. I'll talk to you later. Peace.